Well, this profound and insatiable love that is never truly satisfied with God, constantly yearning for more, inevitably takes on a deeply emotional, pleading and begging form, always seeking a deeper connection and fulfillment, and becomes plaintive, asking us to give ourselves to Him because He wants to give us everything. Do you see now? Then the inner voice continued with, it goes on further, moving to the ninth excess of my love. Ninth hour, my daughter. My current state is becoming ever more increasingly painful and distressing. If you love me, keep your gaze fixed on me, so that you may truly see if you can lovingly give your precious little Jesus some profound comfort, a tender word of heartfelt love, a gentle caress, or even a soft comforting kiss that might truly bring much needed relief to my incessant weeping and my deep profound sorrows. My daughter, I repeat, my state is ever more painful. If you love me, keep your gaze fixed on me so that you may see if you can give your little Jesus some comfort. A word of love, a caress, a kiss that I bring to my weeping and my sorrows. This is a truly profound and new invitation from Jesus Christ, who lovingly calls each one of us, even from the very moment of our conception in the womb, to offer Him some genuine comfort, a heartfelt word of love, a tender caress, to significantly lighten His heavy burden and to deeply console Him so very much amid so many sorrows. Here we can already enrich this so much with all that we have read and know. It is not just a little word that we can bring to Jesus. We have so much more now. There, Louisa, well, as I said, it's page 5, but with all that we know, it's not just a caress anymore. We can give Him in another volume. Volume 24, I think, I'm still not very familiar with the volumes, but in volume 24, at the beginning of the year, on the 1st of January, Louisa also starts to reflect and says that for Jesus, for the New Year, the New Year's gift, before anything else, she asks that He may give her His will so that He can do whatever He wants with it, so that her hands may be tied, so that He may place her at His feet, so that He may amuse Himself with her. And Jesus tells her, no, my daughter, you already gave me your will many years ago. Now, what you can truly give to me, as I lovingly gave it to you for an entire year, are all the good and faithful acts you have diligently done in my divine will throughout this past year. That is now. Not my will. Here, I give it to you. No, but rather all the acts you have done in my will during this year. Offer those to me again, and I will feel as if you are repeating the whole year for me, so I can receive all the love from this entire year once more. So then, it's precisely the same for us too. Now, with all the extensive knowledge we currently possess, some individuals more, some less, when we diligently undertake this sacred novena, this profound 9th hour, and Jesus lovingly asks us for a small comforting word, some genuine solace, let us bring Him all the numerous acts we have carefully done in His divine will, which, although they are truly of His most holy will, have been faithfully carried out by us, His devoted servants. So it is no longer just a little word that will take away His profound pain, nor a comforting handkerchief that will gently dry His precious tears. But amidst so much profound darkness, so many lost creatures, He will truly see our every act in the divine will, which will sweetly and tenderly sweeten for Him the entire 9 months He lovingly spent in His Blessed Mother's sacred womb, because He clearly sees in us the abundant fruit of His working will and the glorious fruit of we do. I repeat, He sees in us the fruit of His love, of His will. Isn't something coming out? And the effect of this is the acts we have done in the divine will. This is what gives Him back the light, as we will see a little later in the next meditation. I repeat, my daughter, my state is always more sorrowful. If you love me, let your gaze remain fixed on me so that you may see if you can give us, little Jesus, some consolation. Yes? We can already see that, yes, we can. In the divine will, as we said a while ago, we can repeat to him the consolation that our mother gave him, and we can bring him all the acts we have done in the divine will. So here I answer you, Jesus, yes, yes, I can. I console you, infinite consolation, consolation from your divine mother, because I find it in your will, and I bring it to you and offer it to you. And with this, with absolute certainty, the wind dies down for you. And since I want to do this in the name of the whole human family, receive from me all the love of your will acting in me. Yes, I can, Jesus. I said to myself in my ever more painful state, if you love me, let your gaze remain fixed on me so you can see if you can give your little Jesus some comfort, a word of love, a caress, a kiss, which I humbly and profoundly offer up to you, accompanied by the deepest expressions of my heartfelt weeping and the overwhelming weight of my profound and enduring sorrows, all laid bare before you. Listen, my daughter. So that they may see that, yes, we can, in the 9th month of pregnancy and at the time of birth. I'm going to jump ahead to talk about the birth, but it's the same idea I was just mentioning. That's why I'm taking it this way. It's a significant chapter where Luisa clearly sees Jesus as a tiny newborn child. December 25th, 1921. In this edition, it's 227, but the chapter is December 25th, 1921. Here, Louisa sees Jesus as a newborn, shivering from the cold in the manger. And Jesus then says to her, my dear daughter, do you truly think it was merely the harsh material environment that so deeply chilled my very being? Oh no, it was in fact the profound coldness of human hearts that truly affected me. That made my very soul shiver with an intense cold deep inside, and their profound ingratitude, which, when it was finally brought to light, truly made me weep most bitterly and uncontrollably. My dear mother calmed my weeping, although she too wept. Our tears mingled as we shared our first kisses. We poured out our hearts in love, but our earthly life had to be one of profound pain and bitter tears, and I had myself positioned in the humble manger to sorrowfully return to endless weeping. Calling out with my sobs and my tears to my children, to the whole human family, I wanted to move them with my tears and sobs so that they would listen to me. But no one would come, and even less so within themselves truly, because to go deeply within, one absolutely had to have fully entered into their own personal will in order to be completely present and fully engaged in those significant moments. No one went there, not so much, I repeat, physically at that moment like the shepherds did, but spiritually no one responded to the call of Jesus, who was born to come to us. But do you truly know who was the very first after my beloved mother, whom I tearfully called to be right by my side, there in the humble manger, to fully pour out all my heartfelt love? It was you, the little daughter of my will. Because Louisa, being in the divine will, just as we ourselves are here right now, responding to the call of Jesus, because being in the divine will, and if we want to go, we go. And the first was Louisa, it was you, the little daughter of my will. You were so small, and living in my will, I was able to have you by my side in the very same manger, and I could pour my tears into your heart. These tears have sealed my unwavering will within you, and they have truly made you a genuine daughter of my profound will. My heart truly rejoiced seeing the return in you, seeing fully restored in you, and completely whole within my will indeed. what my will had brought forth at creation. Yes, it is not as if then in all this realm, seeing so many creatures who have not lived in his will, and in none of them has he seen restored all that the divine will brought forth at creation. Only in Luisa is she the very first that by having her pure presence, Jesus at the moment of his divine birth sees in her fully restored all that originally came forth at creation. Because Luisa, living in the divine will, Jesus finds himself perfectly reflected in her, the complete correspondence of everything that came forth in creation. I repeat, my heart truly rejoiced, seeing in you, completely whole in my deepest will, what my own will had brought forth into existence and creation, and this profound realization was absolutely indispensable for me. When coming into the light of this world, I had to consolidate the rights of creation and receive the glorious triumph as if the creature had never truly departed from my unwavering will, and I profoundly obtained this precious gift in you. So for you it was indeed the very first kiss and the initial cherished gifts of my tender infancy. And what we might ask ourselves, Louisa asked herself at that moment, though perhaps we no longer do, since we know how all of this is in the process of being accomplished. Louisa asks us, and I, my father, how can I do this if I did not yet exist on earth? We can say the same thing ourselves now. How can it be that we are present at the Nativity if we did not yet exist at that time? And Jesus says, in my will, everything existed, and all things were for me a single point. That is precisely where he always finds us. So, I truly saw you just as I clearly see you right now. And all the abundant graces I have lovingly given to you are nothing but the profound confirmation of what had been eternally given to you from all eternity. But I did not only see you, I also saw within you my precious little family who would faithfully live in my divine will. And that eventually, one beautiful day, they would indeed make a peaceful retreat and truly understand this profound concept on a quiet Sunday afternoon. And I did not only see you, but I also saw in you my cherished little family who would truly live in my will and who one glorious day, amid enthusiastic acclamations, would hear and truly know this profound truth. Oh, how happy I was. All these gentle souls profoundly soothed my tears. Oh, they truly warmed me. And forming a protective crown around me, they valiantly defended me from the cruel treachery and bitter ingratitude of other living creatures. And with this idea, let us prepare to celebrate the birth, not so much on the 24th or 25th of December, but rather the one that is happening in act in the divine will. Right now, as children that we are doing it because it is Christmas time, but this exercise can be done during Easter, at Pentecost, during Advent, on ordinary Sundays, or whenever you wish. It is happening in act in the divine will. Jesus is in the act of being born and in the act of seeing us. But anyway, to learn it, we are going to do it now during these days, since it is Christmas time. My dear daughter, I now repeat, the 9th hour has arrived to finally finish. My dearest daughter, my spiritual state is always much more profound, so if you truly love me, please keep your loving gaze fixed intently upon me so that you can clearly see if you can give your precious little Jesus some comfort and solace. A gentle word of love, a tender caress, a soft and lingering kiss that gives a much-needed break to my weeping and my deep afflictions. And here then we all answer as one, Jesus. And this is the Sunday afternoon retreat you were referring to. Excuse me? Ah, just look at this indeed. Listen, my daughter, after having given 8 excesses of my love to man, and he responded so poorly to me, my persistent and truly enduring love did not give up and still wanted to add a 9th excess. And this profound 9th is the deep longing, the intensely fiery sighs, the flames of desire to leave the maternal womb to embrace man. And these profound longings, these intensely fiery sighs, reduced my tiny, nascent, unborn humanity to such an unbearable agony that I was truly about to take my very last breath indeed. In Maria Valtorta, when she deals with the birth, and then these are questions we also ask ourselves. How was Jesus born? Yes, how are all children born from our mothers? Or was it in some other way? Because, well, she remained a virgin. So in Maria Valtorta, she shows in a certain way that what made him be born was his excess of love, his desire to give himself to us. That was what brought him out, what made him leave the womb of the Most Holy Virgin in a miraculous way, without the Blessed Virgin having to lose her virginity, simply by the child being inside her miraculously. Of course, it's a miracle he was God and had to act as God. There's no problem with that, but we insist so much that the birth of Jesus should be like ours, like ours. He was God and had to act as God. There's no problem with it having happened in a miraculous and exceptional way. But that force that made him come out was not just the immense physical force that devoted mothers courageously used to bring their beloved children into this world, but rather that profound spiritual force and that intense, burning fire of unconditional love found in Jesus Christ, our Savior, of wanting to give himself to his creatures. And love in a profound and meaningful way, just as in the sacred human motherhood, which truly prevented Jesus from coming forth from the Blessed Virgin Mary, was also the deep and heartfelt desire for all of us to have a clear and beautiful representation of human motherhood applied to the divine motherhood, a concept both spiritual and deeply personal. It was love that made him be born. It is the longing, the fiery sighs, the flames of desire, wanting to leave the maternal womb to embrace mankind and to make himself known, because his humanity needed to be outside the Blessed Virgin in order to be known by others and by us as well. And this reduced my little unborn humanity to such agony that I was about to take my last breath. Such was the strength of the love I felt, that I felt as if I would die from the desire to come out to you. But my divinity, which was inseparable from me, would give me surges of life, and I would take up life again to continue my agony and to die once more. This was the 9th excess of my love, to agonize and die continuously out of love for the creature. Oh, what a long agony of 9 months. Oh, how love suffocated me and made me die. And if I had not had my divinity with me and my mother, who continually gave me life each time I was about to die, love would have consumed me before I could come out into the light of day. Then he added, look at me closely. Listen to me intently as I truly agonize, as my poor little heart beats rapidly, suffocates painfully, burns fiercely. Just look at me now, for I am about to die." And we kept a deep silence. I felt like I was truly dying. The very blood in my veins turned utterly cold, and trembling uncontrollably, I desperately said to him, "My dearest love, my precious life, please do not die. Do not ever leave me alone. You truly want love, and I will always love you completely. You truly desire acts in the divine will, and I solemnly promise I will never, ever leave you. Please give me your very fervent flames of love so that I may love you more deeply and be completely and utterly consumed for your divine purpose." Here ends the Christmas novena in Luisa. As you clearly saw, we successfully made them a little more continuous and flowing, especially since we had finished our work earlier than anticipated. Well, as a comprehensive summary of absolutely everything significant that we've thoroughly seen and discussed in these past couple of very productive days, we have this Christmas novena as a guide not only to prepare ourselves for this Christmas, but to enlighten our whole life in the divine will. Everything that has been said here has been recorded on the cassettes, and since these are things that we have taken from the profound writings of Luisa, always have a new and illuminating light each and every time you listen to them, each and every time you replay the recorded cassette. Jesus, who resides within us, teaches us a new and deeper nuance of everything that has been written and is now being spoken. So what I truly recommend is that we diligently read, or let's say listen to these invaluable cassettes as much as we possibly can. It's not me you're truly listening to. What you're genuinely hearing are the sacred writings of Luisa, verbally recorded and meticulously captured, to be repeatedly heard and deeply contemplated. And now, to finish and to prepare ourselves thoroughly for the joyous and sacred season of Christmas, I truly believe that we should all make a concerted and dedicated effort to repeat not just the audio cassettes, but also the actual and deeply meaningful novena specifically designed for Christmas. This is to prepare ourselves completely for the miraculous birth of our Lord Jesus Christ, and to be fully ready with all our acts and intentions within the divine will, so that we may lovingly offer them to Jesus as soon as he is born into the world. And for now, and to conclude with this heartfelt message, I sincerely wish each and every one of you a truly blessed and very happy Christmas, enveloped in the profound and eternal will of God. Thank you.